Hey, welcome. I am so excited to be back here and with the Midstate podcast. We've got a great lineup today. Welcome to all of you who are viewing and watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button as well. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. But today I want to introduce everybody to my friend Jen Charbonneau.
Hey,
Welcome.
guys.
How are you
Hi.
today?
I'm great. I'm super excited to talk about all the things that we have going on.
Yeah,
with
that's incredible. So
Yes.
Jen is part of the organization in a specific role for arts and academics. She is the director over all those things. So when we have classwork or we have fine arts or festivals and bowls and all those kind of competitions, when that goes on, Jen is the one who's kind of leading that charge for us as well. So Jen, thank you for all that you do. We are so excited you're
Oh,
here
I'm
today.
thankful to do it, Billy.
Yeah.
So this year has been a lot of fun. We started off, we have a Bible Bowl and Geography Bowl,
Wow.
and both of those things came about because ASOL, which is our governing organization,
Right.
puts those things together. And so we just put a word out there if anybody wanted to do a Bible Bowl or a Geography Bowl team. And we had two parents, Christy Smith and Brandy Middleton. And so Christy did Geography Bowl, Brandy did Bible Bowl. They met with their students throughout the course of last fall, and then we had our tournament, if you will, in February. And our teams did fantastic. They both
Wow.
came in first place this year.
That
And
is
so
incredible.
it was so much fun.
First year in.
First year
First
in.
places. That's incredible.
They did, and
Yeah.
it was neat because you realize how much the students are learning, and you also realize when you hear your kids going over these little trivia facts, you realize how much you don't know. And so, so it was neat.
Yeah.
The kids did great. I think both Christy and Brandy were excited, and we anticipate starting that again in the fall. And so they will have their next festival will be next spring, so it'll be a year from now when we do that.
Yeah. So let's just say there's a student who's out there thinking, hey, I want to do that next year. What does that process look like? Like the actual competition, what do? Do they just quiz them on Bible verses or Bible knowledge or geography? Is like, okay, tell me the capital of Louisiana.
Right. There's so much that you could quiz them on.
Right.
They have specific books that they have to order,
Okay.
and then they will practice. And so it's with buzzers. If you did Quiz Bowl back in the day,
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. And so
Okay.
there's a moderator, and they will ask questions, and it's questions these kids have studied.
Okay.
And so you hit a buzzer, and they buzz in, and the first buzzer gets to. And so it's a lot of fun.
Wow,
It
that's
really was fun to see. And we were all on the edge of our seat,
Yeah.
trying to see how much we knew as well. And so if students are interested for next year, we will open those activities. They're not really classes, but we'll open up those activities in the fall, and then students can register. And then Christy and Brandy will be in charge of kind of setting up practice
Okay.
times for them.
That's great. Man, that's something we haven't done, I don't think, before in the past, like these geography bowls and knowledge bowls, quiz bowls, things like that. So that's really cool to see.
It was.
Some of the stuff we have done in the past have been courses, some supplemental classes for parents who are looking for something different. Like my wife does not speak Spanish, and so we needed a course for a foreign
Right.
language, right? I mean, I
Yes.
took a foreign language as well, but I can't speak much French.
Mhm.
Yeah, from
Mhm.
all the years of French that I had, it's like, okay, what did I really learn?
Same.
It's like
Yes.
I know how to say I don't know in French, but I will not do that here because I'll probably butcher it a little bit. But we offer as an organization courses for parents who need that supplemental stuff. But it's high school credit coursework.
Yes.
It's college prep coursework, things
Yes.
that maybe a parent might feel inadequate. Like this past year, we've been doing biology. Like my daughter's involved in biology. It's on LCU's campus. Christine Broussard is doing a fantastic job.
She is.
And because they're on campus, they have the ability to utilize the lab that's there too. So kids are getting to dissect animals and look under microscopes and all the things that I know we don't have at the house. Like we can dissect some animals,
Right.
but it usually is in a different format.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but it's like those are type things that we've done in the past: foreign languages, sciences, some math, just some coursework like that as well. And we've also had this past year we started, or not this year, but 23-24, we started a choir as well in our fine arts division, and that was just fabulous. They had a choir concert, and I think that was the first performance or first peak that parents got of their performing. and it was amazing.
It's beautiful.
Robbie Briggs is
Yes.
doing a fantastic job with him,
Yes.
and I was like, I can't wait for spring concert now.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed. It's so much fun. Well, and I think the sweet thing about all of this is that it really is parent driven. You know, the parents
Right.
are so excited to teach their own kids, and we have so many knowledgeable, skilled parents. They
Yeah.
want to teach their own children, and so in that, they're like, "Hey, if I'm gonna teach my child biology, I'd love to bring along all these
That's
other
right.
students as well." And so I have appreciated that so much because, as I have learned in the homeschool journey, I don't have the knowledge to
Right.
teach my children
right.
everything that they need, and so I need to find people who can help me with the upper level maths or the upper level sciences. And so this has been such a gift to the community. Like
Right.
my girls are also in biology,
Mm.
and they're coming home and they're writing lab reports and they're doing so many things that I would not be able to give to them. And so it has been a really gracious gift to me as well.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
that being said, we're excited to talk about all the classes that we're going to offer in the fall.
Okay.
Right now, we have 2 high school science classes.
Yeah.
The first one is going to be a high school physical science, and
Okay.
it will be taught by Nicole Malley.
Mhm.
And then the other one will be taught by Christine Broussard, and it's a high school chemistry class.
Oh man.
And so she did biology this year. She's going
Yeah.
to do chemistry next year. And so my girls are excited about chemistry. It's going to be
Boy,
a
she's
lot
got
of
a
fun.
full plate, doesn't she?
Yes,
Wow.
she is. I'm so thankful for her.
Yeah.
But so I think students can look at the classes
Mm-hmm.
and parents can look at these classes and say, where do my students
Right,
fit?
right.
Because we're going to try to offer these classes every other year. So
Right.
you might look at it and say, well, my daughter's in 10th grade. Should she take physical science? Should she take chemistry? You know
Mhm.
what your students' ability is. And so you can put them in the class that fits what they need for their high school
Yeah, that's
requirements.
right.
The goal of these classes is to help prepare them for college. If there are students who are planning to go to college, we want to make sure that they have the skills necessary to be able to do well when they get there.
Yeah.
And so there will be things like lab reports, there will be tests. Obviously, a parent is able to create their own transcript. These are homeschool classes. And so the parent is able to create the transcript on their own, but the students will have graded assignments in the classes. And we want a high level of excellence. So we want the kids to read, we want them to participate, we want them to be on time,
Right.
all those different things, because we want to do well with our homeschool students.
Yeah,
That's important
that's
to
right.
us. So those are the 2 high school classes that will be offered. They will be offered from 8:30 to 10:30 on Tuesdays.
Okay.
And the location is going to be First Baptist Church in Pineville.
Okay. Good.
This whole concept, I believe, is something different than anything else that Sinlaw has, because these will be classes where parents are able to drop their students off
Okay.
for class, and then they can pick their students up after. So parents are not required to stay on
Right.
campus.
That's right.
So those classes are the first classes. In the second offering, the second hour, from 10:45 to 12:15, Christy Smith is going to be teaching a junior high, middle school science. It's going to be on human body.
Okay.
And then Kathy Rogers is going to be teaching a high school Spanish class. It will be Spanish 1.
Yeah.
And so those will be offered as well. And so Kathy she grew up in Ecuador. She taught for 15 years. She's now a translator for ICE. And so she has tons of experience. She's really excited to
Yeah,
teach.
that's
And so
great.
I love all the people that we have
Yeah.
teaching are wonderful. They love the Lord. They love the students. They love the coursework. And so they're going to do a great job.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow, that's really cool. And all those courses will be at First Baptist. Yes.
They will all be at First
Okay.
Baptist. And
All on those same days, just in different time slots.
right.
Very
So
good.
all offered on Tuesdays, and then Robbie will be offering choir as
Yeah,
well.
it's right there, right after
Yes.
those are done.
Right.
1:30, something like that. Yeah.
Right. 1:15 to 2:15
Okay.
will be the choir offering. And
Very
so
good.
we want to work with parents' schedules the best that we can.
know.
And
Isn't
so
it a
it's
struggle?
all in there together. Yeah. So it wasn't different days and moved all, but it was just all on Tuesdays at time slots that hopefully will work for parents.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
Man, that's exciting.
isn't it?
Yeah, so cool. So if I'm a parent and I want to sign up for these things, where do I do that? How do I do that? When is that registration launching? All those things, That's what I'm thinking through.
That's
right.
yes. So we will do that. The plan is to open up the classes probably the beginning of May. That's what we're
Okay.
looking at right now. The Homeschool Life website is the place where you will register for classes, and then the Midstate website will direct you there. Once
Right.
all of the things are launched, it will
Yes.
direct you there. You can always email me at ahaartsandacademics@gmail.com, and I can let you know when those classes are open for sure, and we can direct you there. What we are going to do, and I'm excited about this as well as a mom of 5 kids
Yeah.
and 3 high school students right now, is we are going to offer discounted packages. So if you
Okay.
register early,
Yeah.
there will be a discount for that. If you register for multiple classes, there will be a discount for that. And
Okay.
if you are registering multiple students, there will be a discount for that. And so these are buildable discounts.
Yeah.
And that way, we're hoping that parents don't feel like, well, I have to choose between this or this,
Right.
but that parents will be able to look at it and say, oh, wow, I can register several students for
for sure.
classes, and it will be something that's affordable for all of our families to
that's great.
participate with. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, one of the things that is it's a love-hate relationship with the way we do things, is that everything is parent supported.
Yes.
Right. So anything that the parents want to do, but they kind of take that on themselves when they decide to homeschool their families. Like now the
Yes.
whole, not only the education burden is on parents, but the
Mhm.
financial burden is also on parents. And
Mhm.
so we strive to do everything we can to lower that cost. We're not in it to make money. Like we're in it to get the cost as low as we can.
Right.
Any surplus goes back into the parents as for discounts and things like that. So
Right.
that's amazing that y'all are building in discounts and building in strategies to help parents financially
Right.
achieve the things that they need for their kids. That's fantastic.
Right.
So
Right.
kudos for you guys on that. That's awesome.
Well, I'm thankful, and that's
Yeah.
the heart of all of this, is that it
Yeah.
is parent driven. And so if there are parents who say, I recognize I'm great at math, and so I
Mhm.
would love to teach a math class. There are so many opportunities available for our students, and everything that we have created, it's been because there's been a need, and parents have said, I
Right.
really need this. Can you find someone to teach this class for me? Or they've said, my kid really needs
Mhm.
this. I would love to teach this class, and I
Right.
want to bring other people
Right.
with me. And so it's all so community driven,
Yeah.
and that really is a blessing to all of us to be able to use our gifts
Mhm.
to help support one
Yeah,
another
that's
in this
right.
journey.
That's right. That's so good. So good. When I think about the community, the sports side of things is just so connected,
Mhm.
right? And how across all the sports, we have families who are in multiple sports.
Right.
The community aspect that happens in a lot of those
Yeah.
is we're seeing that same thing in our academic side and our fine
Mhm.
arts side. And it's really fun to watch all these families rally around their kids who have common interests and just pull together. It's like, okay, this is what we have. And for me, it's very mindful of like Acts chapter 2, when it talks about
Yeah.
everybody who were believers and they had all things in common and nobody was in need. Like they innately, from the heart that God had given them, they were sharing of the things that were theirs.
Yes.
And it was, hey, let's just be a community of believers together. Let's encourage each other, and then we have this common goal that one is Christ, and then two is let's educate ourselves.
Yes.
And let's better ourselves. Let's have outlets for our kids. So I love that is kind of bleeding through as the heartbeat of everything that we do.
It really is.
know.
It really is. And that's what we want to see. We
Mhm.
want to the homeschooling can be a difficult endeavor.
Yeah.
And there are hard days.
Mhm.
And so when you know that there are other families who are walking alongside you
Right.
in this, and they are rooting for your kids and they are pouring into your kids, you don't feel alone, and you really feel like, I can do this. I can do what God has called me to do because there are people
Yeah.
who are faithfully walking alongside me. And so we
Right.
all need our brothers and sisters,
That's
in
right.
this.
We do.
And so
Absolutely.
I mean, when they were little, I don't think I recognized as much how much help I would need. I mean,
Right.
truly. And
Yeah.
now here I am, I've got 2 who will enter their senior year. You do too,
Yeah.
our oldest babies next year are going
Right.
to graduate. And I just think, I'm so thankful there are so many people
Right.
walking with me in this journey and helping me, because I don't have everything that they need.
Yeah.
But together we can really provide that.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's working, and it's great.
It is.
It
It
i-
is. It's sweet.
It brings a lot of joy in life in
Mhm.
the midst of that process.
To celebrate
it
the
makes those
wins.
hard days worth it.
Yes.
When you have that hard day, you're like,
Yes.
okay, all right, if we can just get to our
Yes.
community, it'll be fine.
Yes. Yes.
It's fun stuff. Well, that's great. We've touched on choir a little bit, and that kind of reminds me of of just some things. When I think about academics and I think about arts, there's things I don't really think about. Sometimes it tends to kind of fall by the wayside, right? And it's even like PE classes and rec sports and choir. You know, it's like okay, academics, that's not choir. Is that fine arts? Yes, it is. Actually, it is very talented to be able to use your voice in those kind of ways. So our fine arts in that division, our choir went to the Fine Arts Festival that was this year, right?
Did.
Tell me about that. Like, how did they do? What was the end result there for them, and how they compete?
They were wonderful. I mean, one of the songs that they're singing is "Oh Shenandoah," which is not one that I've heard before, but one that because my daughter is singing. Absolutely beautiful. And they will have a choir concert that's coming up in April.
Okay.
And so it's going to be on a Tuesday night, I believe April 28th or 29th. That will be at First Baptist Pineville. And amazed at the sound that Robbie is able to bring forth from these children. Oh, it's beautiful.
It is.
So I'm excited about that. So they did really well at the festival, and it is the arts festival. It was held at LCU, which just so thankful to have Louisiana Christian University in our midst because they are so supportive of homeschool families.
They're
and
a big advocate
they
for
are
things that we do.
very thankful for them. But we also had students. We had one who did a theatrical performance.
Really?
Yes,
Great.
Declan did Langford. Fantastic job doing a monologue. It was wonderful. Liam Morgan had Best in Show for his artwork, and we had Frances McCann also. She placed as well in an instrumental performance, and so you can apply to perform a solo, a vocal ensemble. You can do, there's sculpting, there's visual art, there's performing art. And so there's so many categories where people are able to perform. And it was neat because there were people from around the state, other homeschool communities and choirs that came in from around the state, and they were all able, to compete in such a fun way with one another. But it's just neat because we have these opportunities. These opportunities are not just in one segment of the population, but we are able to have these opportunities for our students as well. And
That's so good.
it is. And so it will be next spring, And so as that time comes, I will send out information. Hey, the festival is coming up. If you want to submit anything, if you want to apply to submit for a performance, then you can do so at this time.
That'll be early fall probably when we start looking toward those dates.
We'll start
sign-ups.
Right. We'll register probably by the end of the fall semester, and then the festival itself will be next spring semester. Okay. And so, all of this is done under ASEL. Yeah. ASEL is
and
providing
don't they have,
these opportunities.
Instrumentals, like if you play a band instrument or a violin or piano, they have other categories where you can compete.
Yes.
Single vocal solos, duets, things like that.
Yes,
as well, right?
You can
artwork. You can submit artwork as well.
You can
That's
submit
fantastic.
Art. It really is.
When I think about when you mentioned the theatrical performance, I think about Declan Langford. All right, so I think you were there at the last track meet. So this guy, he's a theatrical guy, and he's also a track athlete.
Yes.
And the last two times he's run this race, like he runs this, I think it's 3,200 meters, some long distance. And I just think about his last two meets, like he's channeling some other people as he crosses the finish line. I think one was Prefontaine, and then last track meet, he's like Jack Sparrow all the way across the finish line. I was like, that boy, what a ham. That's awesome.
Declan perfectly brings together the arts and the athletics.
He does. He does it on both sides of that.
He's so much fun. He's such a great student. He is. Yeah.
But so that's great. All right, so when we talk about choir and the fine arts, and in the past we've offered elementary PE courses, and just because sometimes parents wanted that outlet.
Right.
We haven't had that in a year or two.
Right.
But we also have a rec sport that is one of our our startups. Like we started our whole organization with girls volleyball. And ultimate frisbee. Like I'm wearing the shirt today, ultimate frisbee, and it was designed by one of our students. Our homeschool students designed it. One of our
That's
athletes designed
great.
it as well, and so it's just fun. They get to use those gifts. But man, John Hall is a champion. That man
Hmm.
has headed up Ultimate Frisbee. I don't know if he loves Ultimate Frisbee that much or if he just
He
loves the
loves
kids
kids.
that much. And I
Yeah.
think it's a little bit of both.
Right.
Because I've seen him out there. He gets out there with the kids. He's playing with them and just having a great time. I know that was one of my daughter's first experiences. One was volleyball, but also Ultimate Frisbee for her, and how she began making friendships. And it's middle school, high school students all out there together at Pineville Junior High. They have a text group and they say, all right, who's playing today? Who's not playing today? Who's in? Who's out? And then they go from there. So it's just really cool. So if your kid
It
is not
is.
super competitive in sports and want an athletic outlet, like that rec sport is open to anybody in our organization to be able to go and hang out
I
and
love
play.
that
Isn't
because
that
I know,
cool?
I know. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes scheduling and traveling can be hard,
Right.
especially if you have lots of
Right.
little ones. But that does provide an opportunity for your older ones to be able
Mhm.
to have the community and
Right.
the,
That's right. And you don't have to commit to a year. You
Right.
don't have to pay like large fees,
Right.
to help
Right.
supply the league fees and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. But it's something that is super simple, super easy. You can show up, you could not show up. I love it. It's,
Man,
it's
that's
really, really one of those key community builders.
so
within
good of
our
John.
organization. Yeah. So we have classes, we have rec, we have choir, we have fine arts, we have so many things
Mhm.
going. It's like I'm sitting here trying to name all the different things going. I'm like, okay, we've got to be forgetting something.
Well,
You
and
know?
I was going to say there are two more things that we have not engaged with yet. But
Okay.
if there are parents who would be interested in doing this, we there's a history fair and there's a science
Mm.
fair, and so both of those are listed on ASIL's website.
Okay.
We didn't have any participants in that this past year,
Yeah.
but if that's something that students would like to do, and if parents would like to head up. Contact me and we will talk about that for the next year. I would love to see students putting history projects together, science projects together in the future,
That'd
and
be
giving
great.
that as an opportunity as well.
Yeah. So when we think about courses, when we think about festivals and all these things, like how do we come up with? I've been asked this question a lot. How do you come up with which course to take or which course to offer or where do you get your teachers and all that? And I think you hit on that a little bit previously when you talked about we do what we do because we want to
Mhm.
help support parents and what
Right.
what this is about. So really every class that we've had has been a parent coming to us,
Right.
one of the board members or just another teacher and going, "Hey, I'm skilled at biology or I'm skilled at math or whatever. Like I'm going to teach my own child. I'm going to do
Mhm.
these things with them, but I think I could offer this to multiple students." And so we find somebody who's interested in leading in that. And then we just put out information to go, all right, here's a course. Who wants to be a part of this?
That's
Right.
exactly right.
So then we gauge interest. We see if we have enough to make a class. And if that's the case, then we start with a budget. Okay. What does it cost for all the books and
Right.
the resources and to compensate the teacher some for what they do as
Right.
well,
Right.
So, and then we set class fees after that and set registration and there we go. And then we're moving. So,
it
if
is.
you're someone who's out there maybe and you have a certain skill set and you're like, hey, I could be like
Mhm.
one of these teachers and I could
Mhm.
offer this, then man, contact Jen again, like email her, let her
Right.
know, and we'll get that ball rolling as well. So
It's true. And I have found from the things that I have been engaged with, I do a better job for my own children when I bring other people into
Yeah,
it. I'm
sure.
because there's more accountability there,
Mhm.
and the effort and the work that's put in is really able to bless a large amount of people. And so that's we would love to see that. We would love if there are more people who want to teach these college
Yeah.
prep 4-credit classes. Please reach out and let
Mhm.
us know.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Jen, what a great conversation today, man. I think I've learned some new things for myself as
Okay,
well, like this
good.
history and the science fair and things like that
Yeah.
coming up. That's exciting to see.
They really are.
Yeah.
I want our students to have the fullest, most wonderful experience possible in their homeschool
Mhm.
journey. And
Yeah.
so, however we can do that and equip them to love the Lord and love people and to love to learn, let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. So check the information on our websites. You can go to aha.us. That was the Homeschool Life website. Be looking for those registrations coming up.
Right.
That's where our class registrations will be housed, like you
Right.
mentioned.
Right.
But we're still working on kind of our front end informational website, which will be midstatehomeschool.org.
Okay.
And that will be launching soon as well. And that will have all the information that will, again, direct their registrations to the other website anyway.
Okay.
So just be looking at those two, aha.us or midstatehomeschool.org. And that's where they can find all this information we talked about today.
That
So,
sounds
yeah.
awesome.
Well,
All
thanks for
right.
being here today.
Yes, Billy, thanks for asking me.
Absolutely. It's been great.